Goals from Kevin Nisbet, his 5th goal of the season, and the skipper, his 1st of the season, and his 22nd goal for the Dons has put us through to the Scottish Cup quarter-finals after beating Motherwell this evening by 2-0. Just to confirm, we will play Dunfermline at East End Park on Saturday the 7th of March. It's an evening kickoff, 7:30. It means that we join Falkirk against Dundee United, Rangers against Celtic, and St Mirren against Partick Thistle. What an opportunity to get ourselves to Hampden for a Scottish Cup semi-final. Right, what's wrong with my camera? What's wrong with the camera? Right, hang on. I'm going to stick that back there for just now. Wait a second while I sort the camera out. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Oh my God, my camera's not working. Right. I don't know why it's not working. Right, hang on guys, bear with me, bear with me. I know what to do. I know what to do. Oh no, I'm going to have to do this. Oh no. Right, you ready for this? Are you ready for me? Are you ready for me? You're not going to believe this. Hello! I've got to do it off the webcam. Oh my God. Seriously, look at the state of me. Honest to God. Hello everybody. A very warm welcome to Ali Beg AB TV. Well, what about that? Dearie me. Motherwell down to 9 players, Aberdeen down to 10 players, but the most important thing is that we got the win and we've gone through to the Scottish Cup quarterfinals. It was all about winning tonight and we've done just that. Delighted for the boys to get the win. Not a bad performance overall, I thought, despite the fact that they were down to 9 players. So, come and have your say this evening. We'll do about 20-25 minutes tonight because I've got to be up in the next 4 hours to catch a flight to Munich. Don't forget, heading over to Aberdeen for the event in the Douglas Hotel on Friday night. Please come along if you fancy a really good laugh. I think it's put us in a really good mood for that now. So, let's just remind ourselves what Peter actually did with the team tonight. He made 4 changes in total. So, Alexander Jensen missed out for Nicky Devlin, who came in. Alexander was not even in the squad today. Liam Morrison dropped out for Jack Milne. Afis Aruma dropped out for Graham Shinney, and Ulisaya Ulisanya, he dropped out for Nicholas Milanovic. So 4 changes in total. Let's bring you the match stats from tonight's game. So Aberdeen enjoyed 56% of possession to Motherwell's 44. We had 11 shots in total to their 4. They had 8 shots on target. Sorry, we had 8 shots on target just to their 1. Brattveit was forced to make 2 saves to their goalkeeper 7, and the corner count should actually be 9 corners to us, 2 to Motherwell. Sorry about that. So we won 9 corners to their 2. So what we'll do is we'll get you guys on straight away, and I'm going to try and fix this camera. I've got no idea what's happened here. Hang on, I have an idea. Honestly, what a load of nonsense this is. Right, let's pull that out there. There we go. Let's stick it in there. Right, and now, right, so, hang on. I'm going to try one more time. I'm just going to put that graphic back on just to sort this out. So bear with me. And let's see what happens now when we do this. Is it going to work? Oh! There we go. There we go. Right, let's see how we're doing. So, Al Hay came on first of all, and he said, well, Ali, I said I was hopeful, and well done to the team. We did it, but what a hard watch. We make it so hard for ourselves, trying to play out from the back, and a stupid tackle for our red card. I have to admit, I have no idea what Dennis Geiger was trying to do there. When they go down to 10 men, just manage the game and manage your own discipline. There was absolutely no need to make that challenge. Hopefully, he will learn from it. Richard Mickey McMillan says, good evening all, job done, get in there. The big MCP says, McIntyre looks solid at the back, good pickup. Yeah, I thought he played really well tonight. Mr. Mooks, he said, captain's goal on Turbo Shinny. I thought the skipper played superb tonight. I really did. I thought he was immense. Absolutely delighted that he got that goal as well. Ryan Ellington says, good evening, Ali and fellow dandies. What a game. Well done, Kevin Nisbet and Graham Shinnie. The Dons definitely got revenge on the Steelmen. Let's roll on the quarterfinals at Dunfermline. Christopher Mainland quite simply says, we're going to win the cup. Let's see if there's any sort of reaction in and around the media. Let's see what's going on in the media. I'd be quite interested to see stuff there. So let's have a quick look for you. Just sort of, might as well just get some. Here's Willie Miller. Let's see what Willie Miller says. So Willie says, of course it was in doubt. It's Aberdeen. The game went against Motherwell on 2 occasions and they still managed to dominate possession. Well, not quite, Willie. They didn't threaten the goal too much, though, and that will be their disappointment. The second sending off will be contested by their manager. It's a fair way out. And is it a goal-scoring opportunity? He is asking. What did you make of that? Did you think that the second yellow was slightly harsh? I thought the boys would have covered, I must admit. So I must admit, I thought it was slightly harsh. But look, we'll absolutely take it. Deary me. Right, let's get it back up to the top. Wee Mark says, hi to everyone, decent win. Got a bit concerned when Geiger stupidly got sent off. Shinnie was class. VK says, far from convincing. Kirstine's here. How are we doing, Kirstine? She said, Shinnie deserved the man of the match, but looked absolutely shattered at the end. David Scott says, we didn't play well, but we're into the next round. That's all that matters. The big MCP says, we need to try and have Toppy and Milanovic play on the right wings for their dominant feet. Sydney says, oh, ye have little faith. Come on, the Dons. Rory Gowans says, shambles of a game. Palaversa class when he came on. Shinnie outstanding. Andrew HD1 says, getting the win is great, but we desperately need a manager who can lift this squad. Right, talking about the manager, what did you make of Scottish football correspondent for the Times, Michael Grant, who also wrote the book Fergie Rises? I'm sure you've seen him on the show many times before, coming out and saying that it's his understanding that there is an issue with Eric Hornland, which could scupper him coming to Pittodrie, and it's a personal problem, which has got nothing to do with the football clubs, as in St Etienne and Aberdeen, because obviously that's that compensation thing that has to be sorted out as well. So apparently, according to Michael, there are some personal issues going on with Eric Hornland, which could mean he might not become Aberdeen's new manager. What we'll have to do is just keep an eye on it. Sue says, that'll do. Dave says, what a clown for getting sent off. Up 1-0 against 10 man, and then he goes and does that. Phil McLean says that he really enjoyed the game. Elliot Moore says, we have the most useless crop of strikers. I thought Kevin Nisbet put in a shift tonight. I thought he did really, really well tonight. Nicola Beaton says, wow, what a game. Well done, boys, when everyone had written us off. Merciful Fate says, we're building confidence, bedding in new players, and we beat a top form team. Let's enjoy it. Al Hay says, I predicted the 2 wingers coming off at half time. I don't know why Milanovic gets a game, and Keskinen was poor. Thought Aruma would have come on. Bill Dickinson says, even with 9 men, Motherwell still outpassed us at times, but defence stood up well. Now we need to kick on. Maria Lindsay says, well played. Mark Sturton says, woohoo. The big MCP came by to say, Cup is all about the results. We should be able to get to the final using remaining SPL games to sort out systems. Yeah, I'll take that point. Right, let's come back to see if there's any more sort of media reaction to what's going on. Let me have a quick look, see if there's anything going on here. Tyrone Smith, BBC reporter who's at Pittodrie tonight, he says this feels like a huge win for Aberdeen, not just because their Scottish Cup defence continues, but because such a result could provide a much-needed boost to their disappointing Premiership campaign. It's only our second win in 6 games against Motherwell. Tyrone went on to say a disappointing night for Motherwell, whose players gave their all in the face of plenty of adversity this evening, And he finishes off by saying, Jens Berthel Asku's challenge now will be to ensure there is no hangover from this disappointment as they look to continue what has been a terrific season so far. So we'll keep an eye out for more reaction to see what's going on. A lot of people coming in basically saying on the BBC site, VAR is killing our game. That is all. Gavin Milne says, I thought Frame was excellent tonight. He's done what most players have struggled to do all season. Which is to keep Mazwani and Said quiet. DMC Number says, we need a manager in the door as soon as possible. Scott Robertson said, all about the result, but the 2 reds for them probably won it for us. We were poor, even though we had a man extra. Hopefully this will kickstart us again. Stephen Jugud said, when Dennis was stupidly got himself red carded, thought we had control of the game. It got changed, lost control, but we got the job done. Christopher Mainland said, our season continues. Thank goodness, could have all been over tonight. Raymond Steele says, Captain Fantastic, the Shinzer. Didn't he take his goal well? Wasn't it an absolutely brilliant finish, eh? Jim Bob says, professional performance, no real chance for Motherwell. Ian Barron says, we're through. That's all that matters. Premier Sports on Motherwell TV. Well done, lads. Come on, you Reds. David McLennan says, Motherwell better on the ball with 9 men than we were with 11. I have to say, you could start to really feel the frustration among the crowd. You know, I'm just watching it on Red TV tonight, and you could sense it, particularly when there was a couple of free kicks that were taken that went backwards instead of forwards. So yeah, I still think we're too guilty of passing the ball back when square passes are on, when forward passes are on. But look, it's the result that matters. Ian Duncan said, what was Geiger thinking? Thought that was a defining moment. Thankfully not. Jim Bob says, think Motherwell won the former chances. Motherwell won the former chances? I don't get that. David Methin, wow, still nervy stuff. At least Brother Beaton did us a favour. Maura Christie says, very poor performance. We still have too many prima donnas. Hopefully Peter and Doc can weed them out in time. Happy, but not impressed. Mr. Lennon will not be shaking in his boots. Yahiro. Into the next round, that's all that matters, but it was a hard watch. Love the channel, Ali. Thank you, fella. Thank you. Neil Reid said, the defence looked fragile tonight and the team is still of the passing back mindset. Great goal for Shinnie. Very relieved that we are through. Come on, you Reds. Gary Robertson says, we're through and saw the game out. Just what the doctor needed. Elegy said, started the game well. Mitchell Frame was superb. I have to say, I thought Mitchell Frame was absolutely magnificent tonight. I really did. What a good player this boy is. Kirsten came on to say, agreed, Frame played well. Erica Mitchell says, great result. Currently on foot. Home. Let's win the cup again in May. I love how Erica just jumps on the phone and watches the show as she's walking home. What a superstar. Paul Robb says, would say that Motherwell's second red was justified. He lifted his leg up deliberately to obstruct Ulasanya. Yeah, do you know, I'll take that point. He did deliberately bring him down. I'm just wondering if it was, you know, if it was deemed as stopping a goal-scoring opportunity. I just felt their fullbacks had it covered. But look, we'll take it, absolutely. I guess it's the law of the game, isn't it? Colin Lindsay said, well, I was hopeful, and it paid off. Jim Bob says, he's not our manager to lose. We can't miss what we don't have. Onwards and upwards. So, Clothcap says, anybody that calls Geiger a clown has never played football. Okay, so let's have a wee think about that, because if you played football 30 years ago like I did, you get away with that every single week. In fact, That happened every single week. I was guilty of it many times myself. Been on the receiving end of it many times myself. If you played the football 20 years ago, you could still get away with it. Played the football 10 years ago, you could maybe get away with it. Play the football 5 years ago, forget it. You just simply cannot make that challenge anymore. You can't lift your feet, you can't show studs, you cannot catch players high up on their body, let's say. So, mate, I absolutely take your point. I absolutely take your point. But in the modern game, you simply cannot make challenges like that. You just can't. You're going to get sent off every day of the week, whether you agree or disagree. Unfortunately, I disagree with it. I think, we're taking the competitive edge out of the game. I understand the need to protect players, but dearie me, professional women and professional men who play the game can take challenges like that. Seriously, come on. David Gold says, well, I didn't see a win coming tonight. Shinnie and Cameron were very good. Frame as well. Ryan Ellington said, the whole team definitely learned their lessons. Hopefully keep playing like that and continue to climb the table. It's going to be difficult, Ryan. I've got to be honest, mate. So many points behind Falkirk. Kirsten said that she would have started Bilalovic over Milanovic. Well, Kirsten, I had him in my team to start. I've got to be honest. Merciful Fate said, if we don't get Hornland, let's just take Motherwell's manager in the summer or Falkirk's. Sea Monster says, we won, clean sheet, good goals from the Dons. That's all that matters tonight. Right, let's see if there's any more reaction. Stephen Cragen, former Motherwell captain, saying on Premier Sports tonight, in regards to Liam Gordon's red card, he says, I just think it's a great area for the Liam Gordon red card. Toyosi Ulasanya is 40 yards from goal. He is, Stephen, but it's the letter of the law. It doesn't matter. Okay, Graham Shinnie has spoken after the game. This is what he said to Premier Sports tonight. So league form hasn't been great, but the cup can't be that way, he says. A bit of a random game with the red cards, but delighted to get the win. It wasn't the best at times, but the main thing was getting through. As a club, we saw in May how important the cup is to the whole city. He finishes off by saying, it was a big game for our season. The cup was there for us, and it was vitally important we stayed in it to keep our season alive. Still, a lot to play for. That was the skipper talking on TV tonight. Okay, let's get back to you guys. Alexander Wallace is here. How we doing, fella? Evening, dandies. Kevin Nisbet was my man of the match tonight. Keskinen really poor. Shinnie continues to beat the odds. Well done, the Reds. Ian McLeod. Oh, hang on. What's happened there? Right. Where is it? Ian McLeod says, all we needed to do was score one more goal than them, and we scored two. Delighted for Shinnie scoring the second goal. David Scott says, Keskinen absolutely drives me mad. Just no end product. Yeah, I don't think he was great tonight, I've got to be honest. I agree. Andrew Budge. How we doing? Andrew Budge is here. Good evening, Ali. Delighted to progress to the quarterfinals, but not convinced by the performance. Didn't look organised out of possession. Motherwell had a lot of space, even with 9 men. Enjoy your day, Andrew. It's just starting in Australia. Mad Mark says, well, it was a win, but a bizarre game. Jim Bob says, the crowd was frustrated right before the Shinnie goal, but we baited the press to make the space for Frame to get space. John Hermsey, how are we doing, John? Shinza, brilliant. Palaversa, Cameron, Geiger and Shinnie look good in midfield. Mr. Mooks says, defence definitely looks less nervy with Brotveit between the sticks. Mad Mark says, apart from getting another Motherwell player sent off, I thought Ulusanya was a waste of space. I must admit, I expected more from him when he came on, and I expected more from Marco. I think right at the death, when Marco had all that room just on the 18-yard line, attempted to go round his immediate opponent, who tackled him without even breaking sweat, is just about summing up Marco Lazetic for me at the moment. He's got to do way better. Yeah, Mad Mark says, becoming disillusioned with Lazetic too. Good enough to play in the top 5 leagues. They can have him. Steve Williamson. Steve, I've sent you a message back on Instagram. Just message me on there, please, fella. Jim Bob says, gives us something to play for. It certainly does. It keeps our season alive. That's the most important thing. That was the one thing that I'm sure that you will agree with. That was really concerning for me going into this game, is that if, God forbid, the result went against us, that is our season over. In February, the season is finished. So thank God, we've got the quarterfinals to look forward to next month. It will not be easy against Dunfermline. Neil Lennon was in the stands tonight. He'll have his team drilled. He always does. So it's going to be very difficult. But my God, what an opportunity to get back to Hampden. And then you never know who we could meet at Hampden if we get past Dunfermline. Honestly, what a chance we've got. Buddy Horlicks is here. How are we doing? He said, listen to the match via the radio. It was a tough listen, even with Willie as co-commentator. Motherwell always sounded a threat. May think Dennis' tackle was hard, but only worth a yellow. It wasn't, mate. It really wasn't. Deck 1903 says, good evening, Ali. Well done, the Dandies. Didn't see that result coming, although the referee spoilt it at times. I don't think the referee spoilt it. He's not, look, we all know he's not great. But he didn't spoil it. VAR spoiled it. The big MCP says, love Frame at left back, but can't understand why Loban not getting a chance again, as he's decent when he played. I actually thought Nicky played well tonight. Made a couple of really good blocks this evening. Scott Bowie says, just home. Made hard work of it at times, but we're through to the next round. Also, Shinnie was immense tonight. Also, Motherwell second red was harsh. Felt beaten was also poor. Hang on. Clothcap says, Ali, my point was good or bad challenge in the heat of the game. Geiger doesn't deserve to be called a clown. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Yeah, we don't need to be calling people names, I get that. Buddy Horlick said, team appear to lack confidence for playing containing to attacking football, only going by commentary. Mad Mark says, if you think VAR is bad now, wait until it gets AI operated. Oh, mate, don't. Margaret Alexander said, glad we were into the quarterfinals, but Motherwell's manager did us a favour tonight with 6 changes to his regular starting lineup. I must admit, when I saw that, I was like, why is he doing that? Whether they were forced changes, I don't know, but I did wonder why he changed it up so much. Andrew's come back, Andrew Budge. Here's one for you. If you could pick one of prime Hayes, Rooney or McGinn to add to this team, who would you pick? Oh my God. Mate, it's 10 past 11 at night. It's too late for those type of questions. Wayne Rooney. Adam Rooney, for me, was our last prolific goal scorer. I don't think we've ever replaced Adam Rooney. And I mean that with the greatest respect to the strikers that have come in. But I really don't think we have. He was so predatory inside the 18-yard box. Niall down the right, Johnny down the left, swapping over sometimes. Okay, if you're going to put a gun to my head, Adam Rooney. Because I just don't think we've had a player since. I really don't. In fact, do you know what I might do? I might ask the boys that very same question on Friday night. Let's see what sort of response we get. Sequentius here. Glad we're through, but I found myself shouting in frustration at how poor we were pushing forward in the latter stages. No clue how to take chances. Kenneth McPherson says, finally, a win. Brian Green says, Geiger would be in my team if it was... Geiger would be in my team. It was a silly challenge, but Beaton was card happy today. Some of the bookings were soft, but won. Now for 3 points on Saturday against Dundee. Going to be there. Can't wait. Margaret Alexander says the same. Let's get 3 points on Saturday against Dundee now. Alexander Wallace says, roll on Friday, Ali. We need some light relief. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Mad Mark says, I think Geiger has talent, but he's not up to 100% speed yet. Yeah, I get that. David Cole says, artificial intelligence can't be worse than SFA intelligence. Oh, dear me. Right, guys, let's have a quick last look to see if there's been any more reaction to the game. Okay. So... Their referee, come on, Ali, I know it's late, mate, but get the words out, put your teeth in. Their manager has come out and said, the second red card is never a sending off. We had 2 players covering. It's a clear yellow card. There's nothing there to suggest the referee should go to the monitor, and then there is pressure. It's a big mystery to me. That's what the Motherwell manager said tonight. He's not happy at all. Okay, Willie Miller came back. He said Dunfermline will be a difficult venue to go to and you wouldn't take anything lightly, but it's a great opportunity and Aberdeen have to look at it in those terms. Aberdeen weren't the better team tonight. There's a long way to go before they can say they're a top 6 team. He goes on to say, they can do the same as they did last season, win the Scottish Cup. They're probably on a par in terms of the performances as they were last season, so you can't discount it. You really can't. Okay. Oh, Andy Considine. Let's see what Andy's had to say. It's an absolutely huge win for Aberdeen, a timely confidence boost. Graham Shinney really stepped up and showed he's a big game player. His goal was fantastic. Andrew Considine, legend. Right, let's see if... Bear with me. No, he's not come out and said anything yet. Nothing from Peter Leaving yet. Okay, let's just finish off with a couple more of your comments and then we'll call it a night, guys. Mad Mark says, Nisbet is a talented player, but he's not playing 100% as a striker. Brian Green says, Motherwell are really well coached and that's what we should be striving for as they're a solid unit, even down to 9 men. They still had us on our heels tonight. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night because it's late. I've got to get to bed. I've got to be up in the next 4 hours. So don't forget, I'll see you Friday night. Unfortunately, there's no preview show ahead of the game against Dundee because I'm in Aberdeen. But there will be a combined review and preview show on Monday. So next Monday, we'll do a review of the Dundee game and we'll preview the Dundee United game on the Tuesday night. Just checking. Yeah, okay, all good. Right, guys, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for your comments. Keep liking. Don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed the show. If you haven't seen us before, this is what we're all about. Like us, subscribe, and I'll see you when I get back from Aberdeen. If you are at the event on Friday night, come and say hello. We'd really like to see you. Thanks, guys. Stand free. We're through to the quarterfinals, baby.